It is a lot of misinformation and falsehoods written about me, and I want to put the record straight.
Melania Trump, from a Slovenian model to the First Lady, has always kept silent on many sensitive issues, especially after the death of her husband. The public has always been curious about how she won Donald Trump's heart and the secrets of her past. Recently, Melania broke her silence, revealing a long-suspected secret, causing a stir in public opinion. What are these secrets? Does it open up the dark side of the Trump family? Let's follow along. Before we dive into the shocking admission that's making headlines, it's essential to understand the woman behind the mystery. Who is Melania Trump, and what shaped her into the person she is today? Let's take a closer look at her remarkable journey, from her early life to her rise as First Lady, the early life of Melania Trump. Melania Trump, born Melania Knavs, was born on April 26, 1970, in Novo Mesto, Slovenia, then part of communist Yugoslavia. She grew up in Sevnica, a small town on the Sava River, where her childhood was happy and peaceful. Although Sevnica was an industrial town with many factories, Melania's family lived comfortably thanks to her father, Viktor Knavs' ties to the Communist Party. He was a successful car salesman, while her mother, Amalia, was a children's clothing designer. Melania has an older sister, Inez, and a half-brother, Denis Sigelniak. However, she never met Denis, although a DNA test confirmed their relationship. Melania's family lived in a simple apartment, with a beautiful view of the river and factories, a familiar sight in Sevnica. Although life was not as lavish as in Western countries, her family enjoyed a high standard of living compared to most people in communist societies. They occasionally vacationed elsewhere in Europe. From an early age, Melania showed a great interest in fashion, attending children's fashion shows in Sevnica, where the textile industry was dominant. She also began designing and sewing her clothes, learning from her mother. Studying hard, Melania was appointed treasurer of her school. As an adult, her family moved to a two-story house in Sevnica, where she continued her studies and developed her passion for fashion. Growing up under communism, Melania was fascinated by the United States, especially the leadership of President Ronald Reagan. She was regularly exposed to international media such as CNN, and from there nurtured her dream of coming to America. At the age of 15, Melania left her native Slovenia for the capital Ljubljana, where she attended the renowned High School of Design and Photography. She commuted by train every day and graduated at the age of 19. After her first year, Melania and her sister Inez moved to Ljubljana. After graduating, she enrolled in the Faculty of Architecture and Civil Engineering, but her true passion was fashion design. As her modeling career took off, Melania received a big break, taking her from the catwalks of Europe to the bright lights of the United States. Although she initially wanted to be a designer, not a model, Melania's career took a turn when she was discovered by photographer Stein Jurko while participating in a school show. At the age of 16, Melania won a Chinese modeling competition but turned down the prize due to inappropriate demands from a producer. She changed her name to Melania Knavs and began a professional modeling career, traveling across Europe and away from Slovenia, keeping in touch with her family. In 1992, Melania was runner-up in the Jana magazine Beauty of the Year contest, which led to an international modeling contract. She then signed a short-term contract with the RVR Reclaim modeling agency in Milan, but soon left to continue her career in Europe. In 1993, a notable project saw Melania cast as the first female president of the United States. By the age of 20, Melania's modeling career had taken off, and she decided to move to Paris, sharing an apartment with her friend Victoria Silvstedt. She continued to work with major fashion houses in Paris and Milan, where she met Paolo Zampoli, co-owner of Metropolitan Models, in 1995. Zampoli, a friend of Donald Trump, was scouting talent in Europe and discovered Melania, becoming one of the key people in her career. He convinced Melania to move to the United States in 1996, even though she was 26, which was considered quite old in the modeling industry. Zampoli advised Melania to immerse herself in the New York fashion industry, to mingle with professionals, and to connect with the right people. He helped her find a luxury apartment in the Zeckendorf building in Union Square, which she shared with photographer Matthew Attanian, and paid only a portion of the rent from the agency's income. Although Melania came to New York to pursue her career, she had little interest in the vibrant nightlife or social activities, focusing instead on her work and modeling career. According to her roommate, Matthew Attanian, Melania rarely went out, and when she did, it was usually to dinner with older men. She always returned home before Attanian had a chance to go out alone. Melania focused entirely on her modeling career, demonstrating admirable discipline and dedication to her work. Attanian also said that she often wore ankle weights when she was in the apartment, or when moving around the common areas of the building to keep her body in top condition. Melania's diet was also very strict, with 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day and drinking lots of water. She was very serious about maintaining her figure and had set a goal of making money from modeling. Melania's big break in her career came in 1997 when she did a sexy photo shoot with another model for Max magazine, a French men's publication. Although the photos were unpaid, they promised to land her a spot in prominent industry publications. Although the photos were later forgotten, they unexpectedly resurfaced in 2016 when the New York Post published them, causing a media stir. During her first weeks in the U.S., Melania was only on a tourist visa, which limited her ability to take modeling jobs. However, she still managed to land 10 contracts, earning around $20,000. She later applied for an H-1B visa, which allowed her to work legally in the U.S. Her big break came when Melania was chosen to model for a Camel cigarette ad campaign, with famous photos shot by photographer Ellen von Unwerth. The ad was displayed on a giant billboard in Times Square and appeared in Rolling Stone magazine. Melania's opportunity came thanks to the tobacco industry's legal requirement that only models over 25 were allowed to appear, which eliminated most aspiring young models. After her roommate, Matthew Attanian, left New York, Melania moved into a luxury apartment near Park Avenue and continued to pursue her modeling career. Melania's move to a more upscale Manhattan apartment coincided with her meeting Donald Trump at a lavish party in 1998. This meeting became a pivotal moment in her life, marking the beginning of a relationship that attracted great public attention. Was this a chance encounter, or was it fate? Let's follow along to find out. At that time, Trump arrived at the party with model Selena Miedelfart, but immediately his attention was drawn to Melania, a beautiful Slovenian girl. When Trump asked Melania for her phone number, she refused and asked him to give hers first. She wanted to test Trump's sincerity and did not want to be one of the names on a long list of people he could call at any time. Fascinated by her decisiveness and intelligence, Trump accepted the challenge, providing Melania with many personal phone numbers, including his own. Melania refused to give out her number right away, as she did not want to be one of those women Trump calls when he needs her. However, a week after the meeting, Melania took the initiative to contact Trump and propose a meeting. She appeared mysterious and unapproachable, which only added to her appeal to Trump, who was known for his patience and desire to conquer. Their relationship began to blossom quickly, and Melania gradually realized that Trump had very specific expectations of a relationship. something she learned from the book Trump, The Art of the Comeback, in which Trump shared what he wanted from a partner. On September 8, 1998, Melania made headlines when she held a press conference to showcase her achievements and touted herself as one of the 50 highest-paid models in the world. She also suggested that she would star in a movie with Mickey Rourke. While these claims have not been confirmed by the media, it is possible that this was a strategic move to strengthen her career, especially as she prepares for a major Camel cigarette advertising campaign. Melania has shown confidence and assertiveness, which has further increased her public appeal and opened up more opportunities for her in the future. Rumors of their romance had already been spreading, according to industry insiders, but the Trumps insisted it started during New York Fashion Week, which was held not long after. Melania abruptly ended their relationship when she saw Trump's ex-girlfriend Kara Young leave Trump Tower, marking the beginning of their brief romance. But the lovers reignited their brief affair when they reconnected a week later. Melania was able to further her career by capitalizing on Trump's celebrity and contacts, which were made possible by their relationship. Melania may have felt a welcome shift from the objectification she may have encountered in the competitive modeling industry when Trump was known for treating the women in his inner circle with respect. The introduction to the distinguished Kennedy family at the banquet that October was a significant perk, especially considering her and her mother's profound adoration for Jacqueline Kennedy. Melania Trump's position in the public eye was cemented when, as Trump's girlfriend, she attended high-profile events and mingled with other A-list celebrities. After meeting Trump, Melania kept modeling, but she put more time into their relationship and her work slowed down. The pair made news in 1999 after they answered sexually graphic questions from shock jock Howard Stern in an interview that aired on his show. Trump frequently brought Melania into meetings to boast about her attractiveness and demonstrate her charms, but he set firm limits on including her in his business affairs, drawing on his painful experience with his previous wife, to whom he had also given an executive position, which had resulted in arguments and a lesson. As a member of the Reform Party, Trump announced his candidacy for president on October 7, 1999. The move has Melania's full support. The New York Times was the one that approached Melania and asked her about her role in the Trump administration. She went on to say that she would be rather conventional, like Jackie Kennedy or Betty Ford. Melania was much discussed in the media when the idea of a model serving as First Lady was being considered. Melania was one of the initial models employed by Trump Model Management, his modeling agency, when it was founded in February 1999. In the months that followed, she appeared in many periodicals and advertisements created by individuals associated with Trump. Sports Illustrated swimsuit featured Melania Trump in February as her husband was busy organizing his campaign. There was a photo of her bikini-clad figure next to a large inflatable whale. The picture was captured by Antoine Vergla, who is Zampoli's colleague. Vergla quickly contacted Melania for a second task, this time having her pose nude in a Bond girl fashion. A GQ cover featuring her was Trump's request. The production also made use of Trump's Boeing 727 due to her strong relationship with the president. Images from the session appeared in GQ magazine's January edition. At that moment, Trump's involvement was unknown to everyone. In the subsequent sexualized photo shoot, she was placed in a mock Oval Office. There were contradictory stories about who started the breakup between Melania and Trump when the media publicized their separation in January 2000. Consequently, the couple's new status was quickly reflected in several images and press articles that were modified before publication. Despite the breakup, was it truly over? They kept in touch and met up again a few months down the road. Melania was granted permanent status in the United States in 2001 upon receiving her green card. Trump Tower became their joint residence the next year. Guests were invited to Trump's penthouse residence in April 2004 for Melania's debut appearance on Trump's reality TV show, The Apprentice. The pinnacle of their love symbol was on the horizon as their reunion romance remained sizzling. Would the rich business magnate, however, eventually propose? Here comes the Trump train, bound for the altar. On Melania Knavs' birthday, April 26, 2004, as they were on their way to the Met Gala, Donald Trump proposed. Since Melania never pushed him to get married, Trump said he was more than happy to tie the knot. He said she was the driving force behind his achievement throughout the years. Melania was a wonderful fit for Trump, unlike his other wives. Neither her ambition nor the public drama she caused were on par with his first and second wives. On the contrary, she quietly supported him while radiating confidence. Plus, she was unhesitating when it came to signing a prenuptial agreement. Melania went on a Parisian journey with Anna Wintour and André Leontelli months before the wedding to locate the ideal wedding dress, and she ended up picking out a beautiful John Galliano design. Her impeccable sense of style was on full display as the wedding date approached when she appeared on the cover of Vogue. In a beautiful ceremony held in Palm Beach, Florida's Bethesda by the Sea Church, Donald Trump and Melania Knavs were married on January 22, 2005. With her exquisite taste on full show, Melania created an elegant masterpiece during her wedding. With the help of famous event designer Preston Bailey, she had painstakingly prepared every aspect of the event, turning Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate's huge ballroom into an awe-inspiring fantasy. Various sportsmen, celebrities, media moguls, and TV personalities were among the A-list guests. Since Melania moved to New York to be near her sister Inez was the only bridesmaid she had. Melania did let Trump have some say in the wedding plans, but she rejected his idea to air the ceremony on NBC in favor of a smaller, more private ceremony. The Trumps' life as husband and wife started with that. But there's a catch. They choose to coexist while maintaining their own identities. As a family, they lived in 3 opulent mansions: Mar-a-Lago in Florida, Trump National Golf Club Bedminster in New Jersey, and Trump Tower in New York. On the 104th story of Trump Tower, Melania built a private spa to give herself a respite from the mayhem, and to help her stay true to herself, despite her odd marriage. The couple's relationship was remarkably low-key considering their fame. They regularly lived in the same building but seldom spent time together. Trump freely said that he liked this arrangement since he was preoccupied with expanding his enterprise and didn't have time for a difficult relationship. Conversely, Melania was willing to give up romanticism in favor of their partnership's practicalities. Knowing her value and worth in the relationship, she stubbornly refused to be labeled a gold digger, despite her profound devotion to Donald. Melania would attend Trump events with her husband, making a short but exquisite presence before quietly leaving to return to their home. Donald never became fluent in Melania's native Slovenian language, even though they were together for a long time. Melania gladly accepted this reality and modestly said, "I'm not a nagging wife." As Melania's life with Donald progressed, she assumed a new position that would fulfill her and give her a renewed sense of direction. Would she gracefully and devotedly accept her new role as a stepmother and, later, a mother? Melania's path to motherhood. Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Ivanka Trump, and Melania Trump are all Trump stepchildren. Melania was already a stepmother to his 3 children from his first marriage to Ivana Zelnikova, and Tiffany Trump from his second marriage to Marla Maples. Melania took great care to make Tiffany, who was just 6 years old when she started dating her father, feel welcome and accepted among her older step-siblings, and she developed a unique relationship with Tiffany. Her pregnancy was a quick result of her marriage to Trump. The media carefully chronicled every moment of Melania's pregnancy, which was a widely publicized and anticipated occasion. She was visibly pregnant for her second Vogue cover, which featured her in a swimsuit and an open coat. Melania enjoyed the company of her parents and sister, who had moved to New York, as she was ready to become a mother. Her sister also paid frequent visits. Additionally, she made sure her tiny one had the ideal sanctuary by painstakingly designing a nursery at Trump Tower. Even more touching is Melania's decision to give all the baby shower goodies, including the toys and gifts, to a children's hospital, therefore bringing happiness to people who needed it the most. Melania and Donald Trump's son, Baron William Trump, was born on March 20, 2006. Donald chose the first name in homage to his time spent working as his publicist under the pen name Baron, while Melania tenderly picked out the middle name. To focus on parenting Baron, Melania reduced the number of public appearances and events she attended out of devotion to her role as a mother. Melania unexpectedly agreed with Donald's choice that he wouldn't be an engaged father, saying that she didn't want him to change Baron's diaper or put him to bed. Melania mostly raised Baron on her own, without the help of nannies, except for a short time during his early years. Although Melania was oblivious to the adultery accusations that would subsequently surface, her social calendar became significantly less active as a result of her focus on motherhood. Donald quickly filled the void by training supermodels again, which unnerved Melania. Melania Trump kept a quiet profile as she adjusted to life as a Trump, appearing in only a few charity events and making a comedic cameo in an Aflac advertisement. Her naturalization as a U.S. citizen on July 28, 2006, was a watershed moment in her life. Curiously, she would go on to fiercely criticize her husband's strategy of sponsoring her parents' entry to the U.S. through the chain migration procedure. Like her son Baron, Melania has the pleasure of possessing dual citizenship in both the United States and her home Slovenia, a testament to her worldwide ties. Despite her prominent position, Melania kept a small, close-knit social group at the Trump homes, consisting primarily of her parents and children. When she did manage to get some quality time with Donald, it was usually on peaceful evenings spent watching old movies. They had a particular affinity for enduring masterpieces like Sunset Boulevard and Gone with the Wind. From a hesitant first lady to a political force, Melania Trump's life was a tornado of scandal, criticism, and self-discovery that began with her husband's presidential campaign and continued during her husband's presidency. At a critical point, Melania encouraged Donald to either officially run for president in 2016 or stop talking about it entirely, which set in motion Donald's 2016 presidential campaign. Melania set firm limits as the campaign gained steam, demonstrating her autonomy by not being pressured into campaigning or attending events against her will. At the 2016 Republican National Convention on July 18th, Melania Trump gave a controversial address. The speech was quickly found to have borrowed passages from Michelle Obama's 2008 DNC speech, which prompted claims of plagiarism. Despite Melania's initial claims that she drafted the speech with little help, it has now come to light that the Trump team had not read it in advance, a very unusual lapse in political campaigns. Melania Trump felt personally accountable for the error, and Donald Trump blasted his team as a result of the gaffe, which caused tension inside the campaign. 2 days after the incident, Trump staff writer Meredith McIver admitted fault and said that Melania had erred in drawing inspiration from Obama's address. During her address, Melania shared some unusual details about her life, such as her early days as a model and her youth in Slovenia. The Trump campaign was shaken on October 7, 2016, by the Access Hollywood tape controversy, which threatened to derail Donald's presidential ambition. A 2005 audio surfaced in which Donald was heard making sexually suggestive statements about women, which caused a political earthquake. The reaction from Melania took center stage as the campaign sank. Donald needed 2 hours to get the confidence to confront his wife, according to sources, and he looked terrified. After he apologized, Melania addressed him and said, "You could lose. You could have blown this for us." She then left the room. Later that day, Michael Cohen came clean about Donald believing Melania to be the one who suggested the campaign's plan for defending against locker room chatter. By making a statement defending her husband as "not the man I know," Melania remained distant and declined to stand beside Donald for damage control. Melania was under constant media scrutiny after the Access Hollywood controversy. Feeling that the media was pitying her instead of understanding her, she became increasingly irritated by their sympathetic gaze. A pussy bow blouse was worn by Melania to the following presidential debate, an audacious move that caused many to wonder what she was trying to say. Everyone saw the subtle reference to her husband's scandalous remarks, and the media attention surrounding her clothing intensified the tension. Her husband had made a crude and insulting comment about women on the Access Hollywood tape. While the rest of her family campaigned for last-minute votes, Melania chose to spend time with her parents at Trump Tower. She chose not to participate in the campaign's final push. As was customary after Donald Trump's 2016 election as 45th president, the First Lady would move into the Oval Office soon after the president's inauguration. Melania Trump, on the other hand, defied convention by opting to keep Barron, the couple's young son, in New York City until the school year ended. The public and media reacted to this choice with a range of emotions, including curiosity and condemnation. Many people thought Melania's unwillingness to relocate to the nation's capital was an indication that she was unhappy with her post, or that it reflected the deteriorating relationship between the Trumps. Melania said, nonetheless, that the only thing that drove her choice was the need to ensure Barron's educational future was secure and uninterrupted. Over the next months, Melania progressively assumed more and more of the conventional duties and obligations of being First Lady, including making infrequent visits to Washington, D.C. Along with the president on his inaugural journey abroad to Europe and the Middle East in May 2017, she made her formal debut as First Lady. As First Lady, Melania oversaw several important programs, including the Be Best campaign, which sought to improve children's lives by tackling problems like opioid addiction and excessive social media usage. It was Melania's intention to utilize her position for good and her interests that informed the campaign. A lot of people were happy with Melania's Be Best campaign after they were skeptical at first. They said it was great that she focused on problems that families and children faced. But some felt the campaign was hypocritical on Melania's part, considering her husband's record of divisive speech and online antics. There was a lot of discussion and criticism around Melania Trump's public demeanor while she was First Lady. In contrast to her predecessors, who were more gregarious and public figures, she was seen as a shy and reticent First Lady. People began to doubt Melania's dedication to the post when she avoided interviews and kept a low profile. Some, nevertheless, interpreted her behavior as an intentional tactic, a means by which she might establish her personality while still fulfilling the usual duties of a First Lady. A recording of Melania speaking out against the demands of her position as First Lady became public in 2018. She is heard saying, "I'm working my ass off on the Christmas stuff that you know who gives a fuck about the Christmas stuff and decorations." This became one of the most famous moments in Melania's public persona. After its authenticity was verified, the audio caused quite a stir, with many seeing Melania's remarks as an expression of her genuine sentiments toward the role. Her defenders, however, contended that the recording was edited to remove relevant details and that, considering the amount of pressure and scrutiny she endured, her anger was reasonable. Melania Trump is the second First Lady to be born outside the United States, the first being Louisa Adams, who was born in England. She also made history as the first naturalized American to ever hold this prestigious position. Not only is Melania fluent in her native Slovenian, but she is also very proficient in English, Italian, French, and German. Even though she can speak English and Slovene well, she uses interpreters when she has to talk to people who speak a language other than her own. Melania became the second Catholic First Lady in United States history, joining President John F. Kennedy and Jacqueline Kennedy as the first Catholics to live in the White House. A new chapter in Melania and Barron's lives began on June 11, 2017, when they finally settled into the White House. The pair continues their long-standing practice of sleeping in separate bedrooms despite the constant scrutiny they get. While her predecessor made more public appearances throughout her first year as First Lady, Melania chose a more restrained approach, delivering just 8 remarks. Rather, she kept the public apprised of her progress through video updates. The majority of her public appearances, which occurred mostly in Washington and Manhattan, were devoted to causes about children and women. Instead of using the more conventional East Wing offices, Melania chose to do business from the private quarters of the White House. Several renovation projects were overseen by her, including the White House hairdresser's salon and bowling alley. Even going to the extent of installing a net on the White House grounds and arranging for a coach to train with Barron, she made sure he could indulge his passion for soccer. She sought regularity and quiet at Mar-a-Lago on vacations and weekends, despite her hectic schedule. As Melania Brathwaite weathered the storm of health problems and controversies, dark clouds were gathering above the White House, threatening to release a deluge of secrets, scandals, and personal hardships. Allegations arose in January 2018 that Donald had an extramarital affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels in 2006, just after Melania had given birth to their son. The story quickly escalated. Melania reduced the number of public appearances she made and canceled engagements where she and her husband were scheduled to appear together, like the State of the Union speech when the news broke. Stormy Daniels' hush money facilitator, Michael Cohen, eventually apologized to Melania for deceiving her and admitted that Daniels had no right to receive it. Melania was publicly embarrassed the following month when news of another alleged affair surfaced involving model Karen McDougal from 2006. At the same time, Melania was fighting renal sickness in secret, confiding in no one save her immediate family. To keep her health a secret, she had a minimally invasive operation done at Walter Reed Medical Center in May of 2018. Her husband stayed out of the room. Although the official statement played down the seriousness of the situation, her lengthy hospital stay just served to feed the rumors and conspiracy theories. Melania kept a quiet profile during her surgery and rehabilitation until June, when her husband accidentally revealed the procedure was more serious than first thought. A rewritten marital arrangement that secured her son's inheritance helped raise Melania's attitude by mid-2018. As her grip on her husband's political career grew, she gained bargaining power. After months of negative coverage, Melania's breathtaking white hat during a visit from French President Emmanuel Macron garnered some nice publicity. However, Trump's immigration policies were once again the target of criticism following her parents' naturalization as U.S. citizens in August 2018. Melania Trump has kept a low profile since she left her job as First Lady in 2021. In 2024, she did not campaign alongside her husband, Donald Trump, and she has since distanced herself from his political actions. A line of skincare products based on caviar was one of Melania's commercial pursuits when she was First Lady, and her successful modeling career before she was married also contributed to her estimated $50 million net worth. She keeps a low profile and lives on the Trump estate, avoiding the limelight of politics. Melania Trump is still very much connected with the Trump family business and real estate empire, even though she hasn't done anything publicly since leaving the White House. What do you think about Melania Trump not campaigning with Donald Trump? Is it simply a retreat from media pressure, or is there something deeper? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you, and see you in the next videos.